What's up, everybody? I'm Flash. This is One Man's Opinion, the show where we cover pretty much everything, and today we've got another epic rap battles coming at you. It's been a little bit of time since I did an ERB. We've had a lot going on the channel here lately, still a lot coming your way. If you're a fan of horror video games or the horror genre at all, I've got some gameplay from a game called The Mortuary Assistant up on the channel. It's pretty scary stuff, I'm just going to say it, alright? It got me a few times. The game itself is pretty scary. It's a pretty scary game. But anyway, if you want to watch me get scared, they're long videos, but take it in stride. You know, watch 15 minutes here or there. Do it at your own leisure. Take your time with it. Enjoy it if you want to. Got a lot of reviews coming down the pipeline. The very next one is going to be Cobra Kai Season 5. So if you're a fan of Cobra Kai, be on the lookout for that video. We got epic rap battle reactions coming down the pipeline. Still coming your way with the voice play, reactions, home free, all kind of stuff. But we're not going to talk about that too much more. We're going to get into this one. J.R.R. Martin. J.R.R. Martin. Look, I'm already getting them confused. J.R.R. Tolkien versus George R.R. Martin. It's you know, Tolkien versus Martin. Game of Thrones versus Lord of the Rings. Let's just get into it before I mess this up further. Oh, this was an opener. How about that?
George R.R. Martin versus J.R.R. Tolkien!
Okay, I gotta crank it up 1 second. Alright, let's go. Costumes look good. I like the music.
Elves! Gather up your trolls and your soldier elves! And your ents and your orcs and your wargs and your stings, your dwarves and clamdrings! Cause there's a new little every lord in the ring!
Okay, opening bar, not too bad. Brace yourselves. He says to gather up your mythical creatures, basically. And then he says a new literary Lord in the Ring. So play on Lord of the Rings. He's saying, I am the master of literature now. I'm the master of this fantasy genre. Everybody talking about Game of Thrones these days, especially when this came out. I'm pretty sure this was at the height of Game of Thrones. And, you know, J.R.R. Tolkien is kind of the old hat. He's the old guy. So let's see what happens here.
Fall in love with every character I've written, then I kill them. And they're like, all your bad guys die, your good guys survive. We can tell what's gonna happen on page and age 5. That's
a pretty good bar. By the way, strong language warning. Didn't give that at the beginning of the video, but that was pretty good. He says, you know, my audience falls in love with all my characters, and then I kill them. You know, I keep them on the edge. They don't know what's gonna happen next. And then he says, you know, all your good guys survive, your bad guys die. We can tell what's going to happen by age 5. And so, like, that's a pretty good diss right there, coming at Tolkien saying, hey, man, your books are predictable. Everyone knows what's going to happen. My books keep my readers on the edge of the seat. They don't know what's going on. I keep them guessing. It's a good punch. So far, nothing like crazy, but good jabs coming from Mr. Martin.
We're all seeing how to find some sex in your movies. Yeah. Ditch the Goonie and cast a couple boobies. There's edgier plots and not David the Gnome. Your hobbit hole heroes can't handle my throne.
Hang on, what did he say about David the Gnome? Hang on, one more time.
There's edgier plots and not David the Gnome. Your hobbit hole heroes can't handle my throne.
He said there's edgier plots in that David the Gnome. So he's saying, you know, your plots, they got no edge to them. He said, you know, he's really belittling Tolkien's writings for being for children, is what he's saying. He's saying your stuff isn't edgy, it's not adult, there's no suspense. Like, there's no reason like a grown person would read your book and enjoy it. That's what he's saying. He's giving the shot, saying that my books are superior. We got suspense, we got adult content, I kill main characters, I'm not afraid to go there, it's edgy content, your stuff is lame. That's what he's saying. It's a pretty good round, and pretty decent punches coming from Martin. Not a bad round at all. Beatable, but not bad.
Kings, queens, dragons, dwarves, horses, fortresses, magic, and swords. You have bit my whole shit, you uninspired want to war George. Welcome to Shire Rock.
He's hang on, hold up. He went through the whole list.
Horses, fortresses, magic, and swords. You have bit my whole shit, you uninspired
You bit my whole stuff. He's saying, this is all my content. He's flipping through the book. He said, I see a lot of familiar items here. These are my things. I came up with these things. Oh, man, that's a strong punch. Now, there's not much Martin can do with that. I mean, he could. He can battle back. There are rebuttals to be found there, for sure. He could say, yeah, but you can always go the route when you're going up against the OG. You can always go the route, well, yeah, I may have started with your blueprint, but I made it better. You know, I took something that you created that was fine, and it was small, and this was it, and I created, you know, true magic. You know, I really put pen to paper and created something amazing with it. You know, you were the starting line, but I'm all the way at the finish. You know, he could go that route if he wanted to, but that was a strong punch from Tolkien there. I don't think that Martin had a singular punch that strong, but whether or not the round will hold up, that remains to be seen.
Shit, you uninspired hack.
Called him an uninspired hack.
Welcome to J.R.R.
The Shire, I know. You guys put it in the comments if I don't say it, but sometimes the references are a little more obvious, and so I don't say anything. Though I will admit to J.R.R, I don't know what J.R.R. I don't know. There's definitely a wordplay there that I'm missing. So you can let me know about that one in the comments.
In book sales, you got nothing to say. I'm number 1 and 2. You're under 50 Shades of Grey. I got the pros of a pro. Your shit's subpar. You're a pirate. You even stole my RR.
Oh no! Tolkien came to play, yo. That whole bit there was good. He oh my goodness, book sales, you got nothing to say.
I'm number 1 and 2. You're under 50 Shades of Grey. I got the pros of a pro. Your shit's subpar.
The pros of a pro. Your stuff's subpar. So now he's talking about, you know, writing style. He's talking about how he puts his words together, how he lays pen to paper. All right, you've got your stuff subpar. You ain't there, and he says you're a pirate. You even stole my RR. J.R.R. Tolkien. George R.R. Martin. He really did rip off, and like he's really building on that idea that like you bit everything that I ever had, and even down to your name. So that's dirty right there. He's digging deep for these.
You even stole my RR. Oh, we all know the world is full of chance and anarchy. So yes, it's true to life for characters that die randomly. But newsflash, the genre's called fantasy. It's meant to be unrealistic. You myopic manatee.
Yo, he just with the rebuttal, a solid rebuttal right there, and he called him fat. He called him a manatee. George, you got some ground to make up, bro. It was a decent first round. Tolkien's was better though. He didn't waste no time. He was in there. He was in there the whole time.
We object to what you're doing on these beasts. I'll cut you like my teeth on Beauty and the Beast. You went too deep, Professor Tweed Pants. We don't need the backstory on every fucking tree branch. I cut my teeth.
Ooh, short verse there. And he upset George. George sounds more upset now, doesn't he? But that wasn't much there. Professor Tweed Pants, we don't need the backstory on every tree branch. Like, okay, I get where he's going with it. You know, he's commenting on Tolkien's writing style again. But it's not to be compared with Tolkien's verse. I object to what you're doing on these beats. West of house. Anyway, I don't know. This has got to be a reference to something. Y'all can let me know in the comments below.
On these beasts, I'll cut you like my teeth on Beauty and the Beast. You went too deep, Professor Tweed Pants. We don't need the backstory on every fucking tree branch. I cut my teeth in the trenches of the Somme. You locked your Santa Claus ass through Vietnam. Man, it's hard for me to take criticism on clothes. From a dude who sends a raven to say hi to his toes. You
golly, oh man, I feel like he's got me going a whole lot in this video, does he not? Like, it's just like, this is not even, it's getting out of hand. It's like watching the college football and you know, it started off like, okay, this might be a good game in the first quarter, and then slowly one team is just building, and now it's the third quarter and there's a 3 touchdown and a field goal lead. It's like a 24-point ball game, and it was like these teams were comparable. How did one team get so far ahead? And yeah, here we are. That just little bit right there, So many fat jokes, man. So many fat jokes. Is it repetitive? Is he running out of things to pull though? That's a decent question to ask, because this is like all fat jokes, right?
I got my teeth in the trenches of the sun. You locked your Santa Claus ass through Vietnam. Man, it's hard for me to take criticism on clothes. From a dude who sends a raven to say hi to his toes. You fat joke.
Referencing the Ravens, going to deliver messages.
So worse than your pipe smoke. My show's the hottest thing on HBO.
Okay, flex it.
You're a nerdy little nebbish and I may be dirty, but you got a hairy foot fetish, dog. Even the names of your characters
good.
suck. Got buffers and bofers and brandy bucks. I got a second breakfast for all them goofy fucks. Lift up my gut, teabagging's my nuts.
That may have been one of just the funniest verses I've ever heard. Just the flow was, hey man, he was getting on it too. He was really in a pocket right there. I really enjoyed it. Did he say a whole lot? Yeah, he had some pretty good stuff in here. Let's go through it one more time. And he's gonna call out the fat jokes here. He's gonna say your fat jokes
worse than your pipe smoke.
Worse than your pipe smoke. Okay.
My show's the hottest thing on
It's the flex.
Oh, I'm rock and roll. You're a nerdy little nebbish and I may be dirty, but you got a hairy foot fetish, dog.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious. That's a good one. That's a good punch. He's punching back.
Even the names of your characters suck. Got buffers and bofers and brandy bucks. I got a second breakfast for all them goofy fucks. Lift up my gut and teabagging's my nuts.
Okay, all right. Real quick, you got the rebuttal. Calling him out like, hey man, your fat jokes are getting old. Over and over, we've got fat jokes. You're going to have to come up with something else. Called him out on that, so that's a little bit of a rebuttal there. And then he starts going into talking about how, he gets the flex with the HBO TV series, hits him with the hairy feet bar. That's really strong. And then finishes pretty strong too. He's making fun of characters' names now. He's done a good job just from taking a step back and looking at his whole body of work. He's done a good job kind of picking apart a lot of Tolkien's writing style and the way he went about boffers and boofers and brandy bucks. He's naming all these goofy characters, and then he gets them with a teabag joke at the end. Teabag's a little bit played out. I don't think it's the greatest thing, but he kind of played it off Baggins, Frodo Baggins, and He kind of played it off the Baggins name anyway. So it does have the double entendre there, and I understand that the references are there. Again, I find myself saying it was a really good verse. It's beatable, though. Like, it's really good, but there is room for improvement, so we'll see.
Bush and I were just discussing how you and Jon Snow both know nothing.
Okay, that's a flex and a little bit of a play on, obviously, nothing Jon Snow. So he's got the reference there, and he's got the flex with C.S. Lewis.
Backstory on my box office is billions. Got my children making millions off my Silmarillions, and I'm more rock and roll than you ever been. Don't believe me? Ask Led Zeppelin. You can't leave this fellow. Shit, I'm too towering. Every time I battle, it's Return of the King.
I don't think this is as cut and dry as you think it is. I'm going to run that back, but there's some things I want to point out here about Tolkien.
You and Jon Snow both know nothing. Because the backstory on my box office is billions. Got my children making millions off my Silmarillions.
He's talking about box office. He's got his billions. His kids are making millions. He's got his what do you call them, royalties and all that. Yeah, he's making a lot of money. And then he references
and I'm more rock and roll than you ever been.
Led Zeppelin.
Okay,
which is the Immigrant Song, isn't it? Isn't it Immigrant Song that has where he talks about took her away. I think it's the, I don't want to waste too much time. But anyway, obviously, rambling. Yeah, it's in my head. I cannot. Okay, anyway, it doesn't matter. It's a, Tolkien's work is referenced in a Led Zeppelin song pretty famously. And so, anyway, so he's flexing again. There's two flexes. And now he's double entendre with the flex, right? He's still getting the flex going pretty hard here, but he's playing off of off of the three book names, and he's saying you can't reach this Fellowship of the Rings, and then I'm two towers. Also saying I'm towering above you too much every time I battle. Because he's the king, Return of the King, the third book, so we got it. However, I wasn't crazy about that last verse from Tolkien. No, it's a great flex. No, yeah. No, there comes a certain point where it's just like, hats off to the man. He accomplished a lot. He made a lot of money. He's definitely got famous people in his corner with Led Zeppelin. Really cool finish with his books and stuff. But I gotta tell you, Martin stayed in that battle. Tolkien had a problem repeating the fat jokes and then just ending with flexing. He didn't really go after Martin much in his last verse, and his second verse was very just like, hey, you're a fat guy, heavy, which would have been fine, but that's also how he ended his first verse. It's kind of like Tolkien was running out of material a little bit, whereas George R.R. Martin was switching up his style. He had a variety of disses, and yeah, he did make a lot of mentions about Tolkien's writing style, but it was all like from different angles. He talked about how it's predictable. He talked about how it's for children. He talked about the characters' names, and yeah, he really broke it all down. Like every little facet of Tolkien's writing was attacked. And Tolkien had to rely more on, you ripped me off, and look at how much money I've made, also you're fat. Like, if you really break it down, I think Martin, and I really don't think a lot of people would have picked Martin, because I think if you give this a quick listen, you're going to be like, oh yeah, obviously Tolkien was on top, he was blowing him away, he had that one crazy punch that was really awesome. But I think Martin put together a more complete diss track here. I think he covered his bases better, didn't repeat himself too much, and even when he was attacking the same subject, like Tolkien's writing style, he did it from different angles. He attacked every facet of his writing style instead of just like saying, "Oh, you've got no suspense. You've got no suspense." Like if he had said that over and over again, I would have said, "Ah, Martin, you didn't have anything." But just like Tolkien attacked him being fat over and over again, I think Martin actually had a more well-rounded. I'm going with Martin. And you feel free to disagree with me. I know a lot of you, I can feel it. I can feel it already. A lot of you are going to disagree with me on this one. I think Martin had it, and he even had the heavy punch. I love that the hairy feet bar. That was funny. That was really good. I'm sold on it. I've talked myself into it. George R.R. Martin for the win. All right, well, let me know what you thought in the comments below. Am I crazy? Have I lost my mind? Do I need to give it another listen? Was it clearly Tolkien? Or do you think it could have been a coin toss a little bit in this one? Did Martin have the stuff to pull out the victory? Let me know in the comments below. Let me know what ERB you want to see me react to next. Make sure you like, make sure you comment, and above all else, make sure you subscribe. We are now above 920 subs, and we are right there on the doorstep of 1,000. I keep saying that in my videos, man, but I'm so excited. I've been working at this for just over 2 years now, and so it's so nice to see those numbers start to get in that 1K range. And so if you haven't subbed yet, only if you enjoy what you see here, watch some of the other videos if you like it, please hit that subscribe button. You'll be doing me a huge favor, helping me out a ton, and I can get more videos out. I can justify doing this YouTube thing a little bit more the further we get. Thank you guys so much. I'm getting out of here. This has been One Man's Opinion. Thanks.